Good afternoon, everyone. Very quickly, I'd like to talk about Talisker's vision before we begin. It's very clear. Our focus is to become a Tier 1 or plus 5 million ounce discoverer. We really want to focus on what major companies are looking for our discovery base. If we find projects along the way that don't match that vision and that strategy, then we want to divest those out so we can put our shareholders into the projects that'll bring the greatest benefit and greatest premiums for when we sell those projects. That beautiful gold nugget that we can see there, it's a nice specimen that's out of our Bralorne Gold Project on display at the Royal Ontario Museum, and a set of which is also at the Royal Alberta Museum. Good to go and have a look if you can. Why do we think that we can meet this lofty vision? Well, we have what we believe are all the ingredients that are required for a company to achieve these visions. An industry-leading discovery team with now over 50 million ounces in discoveries. All of our assets are in top first world jurisdictions. We're Canadian-based, predominantly in British Columbia, and I think that's very important when we're developing large-scale projects and we're looking to divest and sell those projects off to major companies. All of our assets are close to existing infrastructure and have excellent access. Highway access out of the capital city, Vancouver, so very good access. We see initial well-constrained potential for our maiden or our first resource in the range of 1.5 to 2 million ounces. This is within 2.5 years of forming our company. So we've been moving forward very fast and very aggressive, and we're underway with a 100,000 metre drill program to be able to achieve that aim of getting that first resource. Obviously, we see multi-million ounce potential beyond that resource. That's what we're looking for, plus 5 million ounce deposits. And this first 1.5 to 2 million ounce is a big step after 2.5 years. We see a 30-kilometre trend that's got over 47 historic mines and vein occurrences that have never had modern exploration, that would build a big brownfields camp outside of our core asset. We've also got a large Greenfields package, nearly 300,000 hectares, also located in south central British Columbia. So we're building a large-scale, major company-style project pipeline. We want to become a mine factory producing various projects that we can on-sell. Because of all this, we've been fairly well funded with good support from institutional shareholders and also strategic shareholders which own the majority of our stock. It's also given us a strong treasury position going forward and ability to execute these large-scale programs. The major milestones that we've been able to complete this year and since forming as a company, firstly the acquisition of New Carolyn Gold Corp. We're very aggressive junior, and when we see assets that we think are misunderstood or unloved, or with management teams that cannot execute or technical teams that don't understand, we take advantage of those opportunities. Here we're able to grab a district scale land package of 14,000 hectares with an asset base with 700,000 ounces, and we paid about $9 an ounce for those ounces, so a very good acquisition for our shareholders. We want to take that forward very quickly to 1 million ounces indicated and start to explore for an additional 2 to 3 million ounces. In October this year, we completed our first Greenfields drill project on the Golden Hornet area, Golden Hornet project. 14 drill holes, around about 5,000 metres. Very happy to say that every single one of those drill holes intersected significant massive sulphide and disseminated sulphur and stockwork mineralisation. We're waiting for our final drill results from the first 4 holes, which we expect to get back in the next 1 to 2 weeks and be announcing to market what we hope is a significant discovery at Golden Hornet. Moving on now to upcoming milestones with our flagship project, the Braylorne Gold Project. We're completing this year an 100,000 metre drill program. We're currently about 76,000 metres through that program. It's one of the largest maiden resource drill outs in British Columbia this year. We plan to finish that either end of this year or early next year and move straight into our maiden resource, which we hope to have out end of Q1, early Q2. So we've got about 50,000 metres worth of assay results coming to market. And anyone who's been following our stock, you'll see we've had assay results coming out week after week. Touch very quickly on our corporate structure. We'll see we're majority held by institutions and strategics, some big names that often don't come into early stage junior companies, particularly that are only a couple of years old. From Franklin Templeton with RBC, Gold 2000, Equinox, a large number of good supporting shareholders. Also strategic influence there, Avino Silver and Gold Mines, who we acquired the Braylon asset from. Secondly, the Osisko Group with the Osisko Gold Royalties. And then finally, a more recent strategic placement made by New Gold, who are our regional partners owning 15%. All of our assets are within truckable distance to the New Afton Mill. It's Canada's largest block cave mine, so it's a very strategic place for New Gold. Very quickly on our management team. All our management team are major company trained out of the likes of BHP, Anglo American, AngloGold Ashanti. We've been together for about 20 years, so we're a very coherent exploration team. We're all PhD and master's level, so we take our exploration science and methodology very seriously. We've also been very fortunate throughout that team to be able to amass an accredited track record of over 50 million ounces in discoveries. The lion's share of those were when we were the Americas exploration team for AngloGold Ashanti. Looking at where our projects operate, what you'll see is that we're focused in south central British Columbia, Vancouver in the bottom left-hand corner, all of our projects with highway access. The large land package there, we control 85% of the Spences Bridge Gold Belt. That's about 200 kilometres from end to end. We've been applying a large-scale, major company-style Greenfields exploration program with 22 geologists on the field for the last 3 field seasons and have generated 14 drill targets. Dora, which is at permit phase, ready to drill. Nova and Cyclone, which is currently under permitting at the moment. We've defined a 5-kilometre strike length vein field of low sulphidation epithermals. Outside of that, Golden Hornet, which we've just completed drilling. 5,000 metres, 14 holes, all with significant mineralisation. Hope to release that to market within the next 2 weeks. The Ladner Gold Project, currently 700,000 ounces resource. We want to take that to 1 million ounces indicated throughout the course of the next 18 months and explore for 2 to 3 million ounces in addition to that. We'll focus right now on Braylon, which is our flagship asset. Historic producing mine that produced 4.2 million ounces at an average recovered grade of 17.7 grams. It was Canada's highest grade, longest producing gold mine from just 30 veins. Fortunately for us, most of those veins were not mined very far at depth, not many below 900 metres. What we initially looked at doing was drilling out and replicating the historic asset that had been mined, 3 to 4 million ounces. But as we went forward and digitised all the data, what we're able to define is that there were large areas that sit outside of the historic resources that were drifted on, sampled and never mined. We were able to build a very accurate low-risk potential model for these areas. And this is where our initial estimate of 1.5 to 2 million ounces comes from. It comes from building wireframes using the historic drift assays. So our risk is very low in this area. We're currently drilling that out now with a 100,000 metre program, but what we've recently identified is a large area of bulk tonnage mineralisation. It sits on the left-hand side of this graph. A large fracture network of mineralised veins hosted in a granite intrusive, in addition to all the high-grade underground resources. We've hit some very good results here, all with 100-gram metre intercepts, a gram over 100 plus metres, so it's going very well. There's a 3-kilometre strike length along the granite, and so far we've drilled off around about 700 metres along strike. We've also defined that down to 1,100 metres at depth. So we're hopeful to get 3 mining scenarios: high grade, narrow veins, open pittable bulk tonnage, and some form of underground bulk tonnage. But what really makes Braylon stand out is the infrastructure. Highway access right in from Vancouver. It's got an active large mines permit, so it's already permitted. Fully functional tailings dam, water discharge permits without any acid mine drainage because of the rock chemistry. Grid power connection, connected right to the project. State-of-the-art water treatment facility, 130-man camp, completed and ready to go. We've consolidated the entire regional trend of 33 kilometres with more than 47 historic small mines and mineral occurrences. A proven process flow with 90% historic recovery. We've replicated that, increasing it to 96%. Finally, we've just signed key Indigenous agreements that give us guaranteed support with the traditional owners up to bankable feasibility. They're shareholders within our company and also have a strong business development association with Talisker Resources. Thanks very much.